So welcome CUSD students, families, community members, and a special welcome to our college reps this evening. You are attending day 3 of our CUSD College Fair 2021. We want to thank you all for joining us this evening. We are so excited for you all to join us for this specific showcase, which is a showcase from great schools. They're going to highlight their business programs at their specific campuses. So before we get started with campuses going over their schools, or reps going over their schools, I want to kind of go over a few housekeeping items. So this session is being recorded and will be posted on our website and also on our YouTube channel later on this month for you to review at a later time. All of you, our attendees, have your mic and video disabled, so we are not able to hear or see you, but you can interact with us by using the Q&A button and submitting your questions there. I do ask for a couple of favors. So first one is that you hold on to your questions until the end if possible, just so that we can get through all of our reps. We can give all of our reps an opportunity to showcase their campus. And then also, if you do have a specific question for a specific rep or school, please include that in your question. So we will either answer live those questions or we will type in an answer for you. And then finally, we do ask that you provide some feedback for us at the end of this presentation so that we can know about your experience during this showcase. So with that being said, I want to kind of go over the structure of what this is going to look like tonight. So this is going to be a rapid fire highlights presentation. So it's not going to go too much in depth. Each rep is going to have 6 minutes to present. So it's going to be very quick. We recommend that you take notes, that you take pictures of the contact information for some of the reps that are here tonight, if those are the schools that interest you. And then we are going to get started with University of Delaware. So thank you all and welcome, Chuck.
Thank you very much, Monica, and I appreciate Futureology for hosting this. My name is Chuck Leonard. I represent the University of Delaware, and I'm based in Southern California, and I worked there for 8 years. What I want to do here before I get started here, I want you to kind of soak in that picture and just see that when I show you the map of these major East Coast cities that we're around, you'll see by this photo that we are a traditional college town and campus. We are the flagship Tier 1 research school in the state of Delaware. And we have just under 25,000 total students, but 75% or just around 18,000 are undergraduates. And out of those 18,000, 70% are not from the state of Delaware here. But just to let you know here, if you see a QR code here at the end, you can actually scan that and get on an inquiry list if you didn't happen to opt in. So you can do that. But if we go to the next slide, I'll show you how to get to the University of Delaware and where we're at, because I think specifically for business, it does have a lot of strategic advantages at the University of Delaware. We're located right in between 4 major East Coast cities. We are 90 minutes from train from Washington, D.C. We are less than 2 hours from New York City. And the closest international airport is going to be Philadelphia, 45-minute drive away or a 60-minute SEPTA commuter train ride away. Also close to Baltimore and the Atlantic Ocean. But the hub of the state of Delaware for finance is Wilmington. It's a 10-mile drive away. In Delaware terms, 10 miles can actually equal 11 minutes, not like what we have here in California. So just going to keep that in mind. We're the flagship Tier 1 research school that does provide a lot of resources for these companies, multinational global corporations that are incorporated in Delaware, most likely because we have the lowest corporate tax laws at any other state in the nation. But as you can see, it's really easy to get to from Southern California. And if we go to the next slide, I'll show you a few things that I think sets us apart regarding business. But I'm going to put in the chat here all of our business majors. We have 17. But as a prospective future grad or applicant, you can actually apply as business undeclared if you have multiple interests and you're not quite sure out of these 17 what you may want to focus on right away. For direct entry for our business college, you do have to have pre-calculus, at least have taken it or are currently taking it as a senior. But don't worry, 20% of our students come in each year as university study students, meaning they are completely undecided on what they want to do. And I've never heard of anyone having an issue transferring into business after one semester or after their first year. So I don't want you to go and rearrange your full complete schedule and take calculus, pre-calculus if you're not already slated to take that. However, it is nice, whether it be one of these direct majors or business undeclared. If you are business undeclared, you'll be guaranteed any of these 17 majors, and you would decide your sophomore year. These 4 areas are just great mentorship and support services for students interested in business. The one I want to highlight here is executive mentoring on the bottom left. We actually give students who are juniors, you have to have at least a 3.0 GPA, we give you money to travel and meet in person your executive mentors. So these are professionals. Most of them are University of Delaware graduates, so they're very familiar with their college, what we have to offer and how we prepare our students, but they are professionals that have been in their respective fields for 10 years. We give you money, usually it's about $300 a year for the junior year and more for the senior year if you're in this mentorship program, to meet in person your mentor. A lot of times they're in those surrounding cities, or they might be just really a short drive or a train ride away. They are integral for giving personal advice. They're foreshadowing where the industries are going, and they're great guides and mentors for our students who might be thinking about graduate school or maybe entering into their profession. Maybe they are the stepping stones for students to actually get internships right away. So this is great. Not only are they available, we actually give you money to go. But you can go on to the next slide here. I want to focus, these are just some of the companies that are interning our students, some of the top employers. Yes, that map I showed you, we are heavily dense with alumni in that area. Predominantly, our students are coming from Chicago-based East, but we have over 10,000 alumni in the state of California alone, many in Southern California. We have huge alumni chapters in LA and San Diego. So we're definitely not just limited to these employers as well. But what I want to focus in are 2 numbers here. They're both 48. You can see on the left-hand side, 48% of our students received an offer from an employer they interned at, and 48% actually had 2 or more job offers. The interesting thing is we actually don't require internships, but most students do complete 2. A lot of that time happens as early as the sophomore year. So just kind of keep that in mind. We really do take good care of our students, from our alumni, from interning, and we are preparing our students. Our students are graduating in 4 years at a rate of 73%. That's almost double the national average. So you don't have to worry about getting the classes you need to graduate on time, because you're probably eager to get out into the workforce. But moving on to the next slide, I just want to present this opportunity. It's been in California for quite some time, but it's the Diamond Challenge. It's the #1 ranked high school youth entrepreneurship competition in the United States. And if you're not interested in the Delaware, but you are wanting to participate in this entrepreneurship challenge, you could definitely do that. You don't have to go to Delaware or apply to Delaware to do this. But last year we had over 6,000 students from 55 countries and 33 US states participate in the Diamond Challenge. And there's a live pitch event in Southern California, February this year, or there's a virtual event as well. But finishing up here, I believe I have my contact information, so you could go to the next slide. And just, again, the QR code's there if you want, put your cell phone up there. This is my information. I'll put in the chat as well my email and a way you can set up a one-on-one counselor appointment with me. But I am out of time. I appreciate your time today, and I look forward to any questions you might have.
Awesome. Hello, everyone. My name is Caitlin James. My pronouns are she, her, and I am the regional recruitment manager for The Ohio State University. I am based in Southern California, and I have been representing Ohio State for the past 3 years. We are the Buckeyes. It is the nut of the state tree of Ohio. When you become a Buckeye, you very well learn how to spell Ohio. It's a very fun culture to be a part of, but I'm super excited to be with you here today to talk a little bit more about the Fisher College of Business, one of the most popular academic colleges that Ohio State has, especially for students coming from Southern California. On the next slide, we'll see just a couple more rankings of what we have to offer. Oh, looks like the slide's a little weird, but when it comes to that, we are the 7th among public universities. We have 80,000 living Fisher alumni. We're ranked 17th among public universities, and but we have over 550,000 living alumni across the US. So where is Ohio State? What are we known for? So we are a Tier 1 research institution. We are also the land grant in the flagship institution for the state of Ohio. So you are going to a premier institution whenever you make your way all the way over to the heart of the Midwest for your education. It's just one of the fun things that you are able to take advantage of when Columbus, Ohio is within a day's drive of 40% of the US population, but it's something we certainly tote when it comes to the quality of academics that our students can choose from. On the next slide, we'll see a little bit more about my favorite city, Columbus. You'll see an image kind of telling you a little bit more about what we have to offer, kind of an image of what downtown is, noting that you are actually going to a large city. You're 15 minutes away from the airport, so you're not too far from there. Your campus is only a 15-minute drive to this downtown area, so it's super easy to navigate, but you have plenty of internship opportunities. It's a built-in network for our students that they really get to take advantage of. So there's no shortage of arts and entertainment industry. We are headquartered, we have nationwide insurance, DSW shoes, Scott's, as well as Abercrombie and Fitch, excuse me. So a lot of different brands that are headquartered within the city. And we are actually deemed as a test market. Columbus, Ohio is the makeup of it based on its social class and variety of race and ethnicity and people of social backgrounds. Deems it a really great place for companies to be able to try out some of their new products to see if they fare well and if they're going to continue and expand them nationwide. It's also a great place for young people, for job seekers, and it's also super affordable as well. On the next slide, we'll see a little list of all of our different academic majors and specializations there. So when it comes to what we offer at Ohio State, you'll be able to see, it doesn't look like the minors have shown up for whatever reason. I don't know how the slides got a little funky, but we have specializations in accounting, economics, finance, human resources, information systems, insurance, international business, logistics management, operations management, marketing, real estate, and aviation management. We also have some minor programs in business analytics, entrepreneurship, and on innovation, international business, insurance, and real estate. You can see kind of from the chart there of how we break up our degree. In the first year and second year, you will take just your regular program requirements. You'll also take your general education courses, and in your third and fourth year, you will take your major courses. Any student that applies and is admitted to Ohio State does get directly admitted to our institution as well. On the next slide, you'll see a little bit more about our career outcomes. 96% of Fisher students registered with our career management complete at least one internship or major related experience for graduating. Similar to Chuck, we do not require an internship to give our students the flexibility to meet their needs, whatever they want to accomplish. Average salary of our internships is about $3,160 per month, which is about $19 per hour. Pretty solid amount for students just graduating right out of college. And then the average salary is about $57,500. So we have a lot of students that land all over the nation. And it's something that really proud. A lot of our students will come back to Southern California or end up here for the first time, but just know that you have plenty of connections there available to you. On the last slide there, I want to highlight our industry partnership program. This is our industry immersion program, and it's the first of a kind in its nation, designed to help students dive into a specific industry and stand out in a crowded marketplace. C-suite executives and Fisher College of Business experts take high-achieving undergrad students deep inside the industry of their choice for a full academic year. The result is a depth of material and live business experiences typically found at the graduate level. So our industry immersion students are uniquely prepared to step out of the classroom into the practice. And to date, 80% of our eligible industry immersion students have secured full-time internships or jobs with leading companies across the nation and around the United States and the world. So we have internship possibilities at all of these different programs. A lot of those partners that you see listed there are also located and have a place right there in Columbus too. So our students really get to dedicate and take advantage of this really fascinating and unique experience. As I mentioned, it is a full-time program within our process, but it is something that will certainly help you stand out from the rest. So at that point, I think I'm just at about time. If you have any questions about Ohio State or how to apply, please don't hesitate to reach out. I'll put more information in the chat. And at this point, I will turn it over to my next colleague.
Thanks, Caitlin. Good afternoon, everybody. My name is Rachel Tanner. I am with the University of Minnesota Twin Cities. I'm excited to share a little bit more about our Carson School of Management with you today. Similar to my previous two colleagues, we are the land-grant flagship institution for the Minnesota system campuses, meaning we're going to have Tier 1 research, Division 1 athletics, 900 student groups, really that classic Big Ten college experience. And every student that applies to the Minnesota Twin Cities applies directly to one of our 8 freshman admitting colleges. So today I want to share more about the Carson School of Management. Next slide, please. Thank you. The Carson School has a really unique advantage in 4 particular ways that I really want to highlight. I encourage you to go online and check out our majors. We do offer 10 different majors, 13 minors, some really great options, including a healthcare or business of healthcare minor that was recently added. But today, let's talk about what makes Carson different and the advantage, because where you study business really does matter. We're in the Twin Cities, meaning we're about a mile outside the downtown of Minneapolis, about 2 miles outside of the downtown of St. Paul. So you can see the main part of our campus here. If you catch a train that goes right over that bridge in about 10 minutes, you're in downtown Minneapolis. 15 minutes the other way is downtown St. Paul. So you're nestled in between Minnesota's 2 largest cities. So you're still going to get that classic Big Ten college experience, but with a really big urban environment in your backyard. The Carson School is one of the smaller colleges within the institution, so you are coming into a smart community right off the bat, which is one thing that will make the Carson School a really unique experience. Next slide, please. Is the community that they build. So to give you an idea, I typically enroll about 600 students into our business school, and freshman class about 6,000. So you're going to feel those smaller class sizes, get to know your advisors, your faculty members a little bit more quickly. And a lot of the faculty members that you're working with are current folks in the industry working in Minneapolis, St. Paul, or doing that part-time or recent. So you're really learning and hearing from folks who are at the forefront of their field. And we're running to make sure that we're bringing that into the classroom. So we are working with local companies to come in and help you solve real world problems. So we have worked with folks from Boston Scientific that come into our classroom and have our students kind of work through some issues. In our backyard, we're going to have 16 Fortune 500 companies. So places like 3M, Target, Best Buy, United Healthcare are all right there in constant recruiting of our programs. We're ranked number 3 for startups. We've got our state government right in our backyard. So a lot of different ways for you to explore business. We also have great opportunities within tech, healthcare, food, retail, etc. But again, being in that urban environment really helps set you up. The next thing I want to highlight is our curriculum. Next slide, please. The Carson School of Management is going to admit you right away. So you start taking business classes your first semester of your freshman year. Make sure it's the right fit for you. Help exposing you to a couple different types of business. The first year is in a couple of different business areas, but really you're going to dive into that curriculum in your second year. You go through a program called I-Core or Immersion Core. It's kind of a play on the MBA style, in that you're going to be taking intro-level courses in marketing management, supply chain, and finance, along with a business ethics course, all in one semester. That way you really start out with a solid foundation in the business realm before officially declaring your major after that, and then you complete it in 3 semesters from there. It allows you to explore some options. It allows you to change your mind 14 times, but it allows you that foundation to get a basic understanding of the different types of areas you're going to be working with in the real world, because it's not just as a marketing folks, you'll only be working in marketing. So we want to expose you a little bit to different things. My favorite part about the Carson School is the next piece. It's a required study abroad component. Next slide, please. The Carson School of Management has 100% of their students do some sort of international experience. That could be a week, a full semester, a full year. You could do an internship abroad, or you could just go study. We have over 300 programs for you to choose from, but we know that today's economy and business world is very global. There are very few worlds that you could work in the business industry right now that aren't going to have some sort of global connection. So again, getting that experience is really going to help you out in the future. You can go and study international development in Kenya, global banking in Europe, or study within the College of Economics in Shanghai. That's just 3 really specific business ones, but really the world is your oyster. You just have to study abroad at some point if you choose to come to the Carson School. And then finally, next slide, please, is our Career Center. Of course, you're coming to the school, you want to know about how we are going to set you up to be make a positive impact in your career right off the bat. So you'll, of course, get a career advisor on top of your academic advisor, have access to our career services, our interview rooms, and our career fairs. 98% of our students have a job within 3 months of graduation, and over 94% are interning, have at least one internship throughout the course of their 4 years. That's with over 300 different unique employers. So while we see a lot of our students stay in the Midwest because they're building a lot of great connections with these big companies, you certainly don't have to. Going through an internship program with somewhere like Target is really going to translate no matter where you want to end up after you graduated. So we'll help you build the skill set you need along the way. You're going to see a lot of those big companies have buy-in. They would like working with our students. So they're going to come and recruit directly out of our business school. We've got our DQ classroom, our target auditorium. So they come in and sponsor different parts of our business school because they want to keep working with our students. So our students are coming in typically business professional, especially junior and senior year, because you never know when you're going to meet your next employer. It's a lot of times in the classroom. If this sounds like something you're interested in exploring, please don't hesitate to reach out to me. I'll put my contact information in the chat, but just know it's a traditional application process and you would apply directly to the Carson School of Management. But I will pass it off to my next colleague, and thank you very much for having me.
Awesome. Thanks so much, Rachel. And hi, everyone. My name is Delta Lee. My pronouns are they, them, theirs, and I am your area admissions advisor for Oregon State University. So super excited to be here with you today to talk more about our College of Business, as Beavers mean business, and we're the Beavers as our mascot. Next slide, please. So Oregon State University's College of Business is really working to redefine the B School experience. And that starts with students as early as when they first step foot onto campus. So all of our College of Business students are actually required to live together in a living learning community for their first year called Innovation Nation. And this living learning community is going to be wrapped up with lots of support and additional experiences for those business students to really, step foot off on the right foot for their undergraduate years. They'll also be taking courses together and again, framing their experience at Oregon State with this Innovation Nation experience. When it comes to academics, all of our sample plans are online. So if you'd like to look more about what each major has in store for you, feel free to do so. But just know that all of our business students are working to complete something called the Blueprint Model throughout their 4 years at OSU. And this is a 12-course series to ensure that all students graduating from the College of Business are career ready. So they have things like our first-year students all being required to create or support a real-world micro business, or things like in your junior year, you'll be participating in a case race led by industry partners at OSU. So not only will you get really great academic preparation in whatever major you're in, you'll get real world experience to be career ready once you leave us. Innovation X is another really neat department on campus for all students, not just business students, but specifically geared towards them if they have any entrepreneurship or kind of business making idea. So Innovation X is actually a problem-solving think tank department on campus that will provide students additional kind of resources to start a business if that's what they're looking forward to doing. Wrapped up into all of that, you have a really strong community of students who are looking to be plugged into their courses. If you are looking to be at the honors college level as well, take a closer look into the Dean's Academy, which is a honors kind of track for students in the College of Business specifically. In association with this, folks get additional advising, specific courses, and again, that kind of elevated experience at OSU. Next slide, please. Here's a quick snapshot of some of those business programs that we offer. We do have over 28 business programs, and these include minors, majors, and emphases, with a small selection on the right-hand side here. So some things you can study are not only business administration, but also innovation, management, international business, entrepreneurship, and a few design majors as well, including interior and apparel design. For us, students are admitted at the university level, so they're admitted to all of our programs when they're coming in for us, which does provide students the ability to switch around and find what their best fit major and their academic passion is while they're with us. Also on the slide here are just some quick numbers and facts for you all. So we do have an 84% job placement rate for our graduating seniors from the College of Business, and many of these students are utilizing our College of Business specific career development center. So not only are students able to take advantage of internships across these programs, they're able to have specific advising from our College of Business advisors. And last but not least, I want to highlight that 77% of our students in the College of Business have received some kind of internship, with one popular option, including the MECOP program, which provides students 2 paid 6-month internships before they graduate. So this is only offered to a few of those majors, and you do have to apply to get awarded it, but it provides really great kind of experience to build that resume to land the job that you want after you leave us. On the next slide, I'll talk a bit more about our location. So most of those majors are offered at our Corvallis campus, which again is our main campus located just 90 minutes south of Portland. We are a traditional college town, so we do have that community, small town community and college town feel, with just over 26,000 undergraduates on this campus. So with that number of folks on campus, there is absolutely lots going on, including over 400 clubs and organizations, as well as Division I and Pac-12 athletics, with those athletic facilities right on campus. We believe in supporting students in their holistic wellness. So not only are we going to make sure you're getting where you're trying to go academically, we also have a number of mental health and otherwise kind of wellness support services on campus for students, including our 7 cultural resource centers. So 7 distinct spaces for students to come together across different identities to celebrate and amplify those voices. I'm going to wrap up here on the next slide with just a little bit of information about our admissions and financial aid process. So if you're looking to be a BEAV and apply, this is a little bit of what you need to know. Our general admissions is a holistic review for folks. So you're not just a GPA for us. The essay and other sections are also very important, with our test scores being optional, so not required for admissions or for scholarship review. And it really is your choice to send those in to us. And then with that review, you'll also be considered automatically for a number of admissions-based scholarships, one of which is the WUI scholarship. So just know that you'll be automatically considered for that, but it is highly competitive and not guaranteed to be awarded this scholarship. If you are applying this year, we have our early action deadline coming up on November 1st. And on the next slide, you'll see a little bit more about how to stay connected with us. So I'll be sure to put my contact in the chat. That's about it for me, but thanks again so much for being here with us today. Go Beavs, and I'll pass it on to the next presenter.
All right, good afternoon, everybody. My name is Miguel Enzunza. I'm the recruiter for the Carson College of Business. The picture you see there is Pullman, Washington. Yes, we are rural Washington. Unlike the other schools, we're not in the big city. We're located in Eastern Washington. The fields that you see there, those are wheat fields in this around Pullman. We have about 19,000 students on campus and a 16-to-1 student to teacher ratio. 81% of our students, or excuse me, 81% of our classes have less than 50 students in our classes. And our students come from every single state in the nation and 98 different countries in Little Pullman, Washington, and Eastern Washington. Next slide, please. The star there is where we are located. Just north of us is Spokane, Washington. Seattle is on the western part of the state on the other side of the Cascades, and that's where the University of Washington is located. And we do get confused with them, but we are the Cougs. Go Cougs. This is a fun town of about 35,000 people, and 19,000 make up the town. So Pullman, Washington is WSU. Next slide, please. Thank you. So this is the Carson College of Business, Todd Hall. We at the Carson College of Business do have a visitation program. I highly recommend that you pay us a visit. If you do find us at Future Carson CUD on our website, you will visit with me and I will roll out the red carpet and show you around the Palouse, show you around our campus. The Carson College of Business is #1 online MBA program from bestschools.org, and we are also #3 online MBA program in entrepreneurship, #9 in hospitality business management. Our Carson College of Business students have a 79% job placement rate. Our students are working for Boeing, Expedia, Marriott, Starbucks, Cintas, Amazon, and Moss Adams, just to name a few. And we do have scholarships for our students. In fact, we have over $800,000 in scholarship monies for our students, from first generation to very specific degree-seeking degrees. Next slide, please. All right, so some of the majors within the Carson College of Business. Here are 10 different departments. 2 new ones that have come on board is our wine and beverage and senior living. We have different campuses throughout Washington, in Everett, Tri-Cities, Vancouver. We also have a global campus. These majors will be found in any of those campuses. Once you start with us, you will explore the BA 100 and Intro to Business. You also explore the HBM 101 Professional Career Development, and the BA 102 Exploring Careers in Business. This is a critical component for our incoming students as they help our students explore the different majors and help them decide on what is proper for them. But you didn't come here just to hear me talk about majors. So let's move on to the next slide and talk about why Carson. So Carson College of Business, one of the programs that really makes us stand out is our Amplifier program. This is a co-curricular program that students take while they're entering the business program. Our students learn those soft skills. So this just gives you a brief rundown, and I'm going to run through it quickly. Our Tier 1, this explores WSU. When the student engages with us on the Tier 1 level, they're really exploring their surrounding. A Tier 2, second year student will determine what they want to engage in more. Tier 3 student, so the third year as a Carson Coug, they get actively involved and they start attending some high impact learning experiences. They start getting involved with internships and study abroads. As they move through the last year, they will leverage their professional network, their marketing skills, and they become mentors to our incoming students. Next slide, please. Thank you. There's so much to the Carson College Business and to our other universities as well. We have an innovative curriculum, and really we pay attention to what our business partners are telling us. And one of those is data analytics. Right now in sports, you're seeing a lot of that. If you're following Major League Baseball right now, they will do a shift. But we do the same in business. We will shift and we will see what our data is telling us so that we put our players in the right position. Students also learn communication. And one of the required courses will be an ethical business decision and values course. Some examples of that is accommodating perhaps for our diversity, equity, and inclusion, or perhaps in the business world being empathetic in decision making. Also really looking at the compliance and governance that consists with a company's core values. So we're looking more than just the business core requirement, but this co-curriculum really rounds off our Carson Cougs. Next slide, please. I'm almost done here. The Carson College of Business has a student for student success. It is our student services area located in Todd Hall. Our students are encouraged to come in. We have academic support. We are career advisors, and our academic advisors are all placed in the same area. My office is located there. If you come visit us, I will be more than happy to show you around, not only with the Carson College of Business, but Pullman, Washington. So I'll leave you with that. Go Cougs.
Thank you, Miguel. I'm going to start my timer here. Hi, everyone. My name is Tara Crisp. I am a Senior Assistant Director of Admissions at Loyola University, Chicago. And I just want to point out, I didn't know that Washington State has a wine business program. So it looks like I might need to go back to school and head up to Washington. We can go to the next slide. So let's just kind of kick it off really quick to find out where Loyola Chicago is located. So we have two campuses in the city of Chicago. The top two pictures that you see here are of our Lakeshore campus. It is nestled in a residential neighborhood right on the shores of Lake Michigan. Yes, that's Lake Michigan. It does look a lot like an ocean. And it really has created this very traditional, quintessential college experience, even though we are in the third largest city in the country. 7 miles south is our Water Tower campus. Those are the two bottom pictures that you see there. That's going to lie right in the heart of downtown Chicago, right off of Michigan Avenue. And this is the full service campus. So it does have everything just like the Lakeshore campus. It has a residence hall for upperclassmen, dining facilities, study spaces, all that good stuff. And here is home to our School of Communication, School of Education, Social Work, Education, or Social Work Business. And business is what I'm in here to talk to you next. You can go to the next slide. So our business school is called the Quinlan School of Business. It is named after Michael Quinlan, who's the former CEO of McDonald's and also a Loyola Chicago alumni. He gave us a very sizable donation. And this has really allowed our business school to just kind of erupt with resources. For instance, the School of Business has its very own career center, very specifically dedicated to just business students, making sure that they're seeking out internships that are right there in our neighborhood in downtown Chicago. We have some close partnerships with Leo Burnett, Deloitte, CBS, just to name a few. And then let's go to the next slide. Let's check out what we got on there. So our School of Business has 13 different undergraduate programs, and these include a nationally ranked accounting program. Being in Chicago, that's kind of a big one. Marketing and supply chain management, which we have recently learned how important those careers are for our country. We also offer some unique programs. We offer 2 5-year dual degree programs. So that means that students can stay for 1 extra year and get their graduate degree done. So in 5 years, they're done with their undergraduate and their graduate degree work. And then the other one that you see on there is a very unique program. This is a US and Europe double degree program where students will spend 1 year in Rome, 1 year in Spain, 2 years in Chicago, and in that 4-year span, they're going to earn 2 degrees, an international business degree and a domestic business degree. And as you can see here, right in front of your face, nice and big, that Loyola's Quinlan School of Business is currently ranked the #1 undergraduate business program in the city of Chicago, which is something we're obviously very proud about. Next slide. So, and as you can see here, we are very big on hands-on learning. We make sure that all of our business students are going to graduate with at least 1 major internship. Usually they'll have 2 or even sometimes 3. And with Chicago being home to 36 Fortune 500 companies, 90 different global trade organizations, our internships are plentiful. We also offer some cool programs, like we have a one-on-one career coaching program, which has led to 98% of our students either being employed or in grad school within 3 months of graduating. So really great success rate there. Here you can also see some of our other business student organizations and resources. Another really great example of some of those resources is a program that we call the Quinlan Rambler. And that's where we take senior business students for spring break. We take them out to go visit CEOs and CFOs of businesses in large cities. So in 2019, we didn't get to do it in 2020, but in 2019, we went to Seattle and we went to Los Angeles. And that way students get to tour and meet the heads of these companies and kind of really start networking outside of just the city of Chicago. So kind of getting ready for those post-grad opportunities. Next slide, please. Okay, so I'm running low on time, so I want to throw out some information on our application. So our application can be found on the Common App, the Coalition application, or our own website, and you can apply for free. So for you business-minded people, you know that's a good deal. And it's also your application for scholarships. So apply for free, see if you get in, see what kind of scholarships you get, and then maybe you can come and visit. We are doing in-person visits. Just a quick note about our application. So we do use a holistic review process. We are rolling admissions, so no early action, no early decision. December 1st is our priority deadline. So make sure your application is in by December 1st and you'll be considered for merit scholarship. And you'll want to because 98% of our students are receiving grants or scholarships. So with the average package being close to $30,000 a year. So even though we are a private school, we do a lot of scholarships to help make that much more affordable. Actually, it has put us on the list of schools. Use my time. It's put us on the list of schools for best value by US News and World Report. So thank you so much for your time. I will be happy to put my information in the chat and answer any questions that you might have. Thank you so much.
Thank you, everybody. Thank you to all of our reps who are representing their schools here. I definitely learned a lot myself as well. So at this time, I will jump into the Q&A. So to our students and families joining us tonight, if you do have questions, we have a few minutes to get those questions answered. So please submit them on the Q&A. We do have a question in there right now addressed to all of our reps. So if any of the reps want to go ahead and answer this question, so can you share a little bit more about the cost of attendance and, you know, elaborate a little bit more about the types of financial aid available at your specific campus? So I'll get started with Delta if you want to talk a little bit more about that.
Totally, absolutely. So for Oregon State University, our annual tuition is just over $33,000 for the year. We are a quarter school, so there's 3 quarters. We also call them terms in one academic year for that cost. And then everyone's required to live on campus for that first year for just over $13,000 as well. For scholarships, like I mentioned, all students are automatically considered for admissions-based awards. They range from $6,000 to $15,000, and then there are additional scholarships folks can apply to after they are admitted. And we can't forget about our good friend, the FAFSA, the free application for federal student aid for federal government assistance as well.
Okay, thank you, Delta. So I'll move on, and Caitlin, can you share a little bit more?
We're a little similar to another OSU, Oregon State. So Ohio State, our tuition and fees is about $35,000. Room and board, as we do require our students to live on campus for 2 years, averages around $13,000 as well. Indirect costs can average to about $4,000, recognizing our students travel a little bit further than other students to get to college. So the overall average cost of attendance is about $52,922. We do offer what's called our National Buckeye Award to non-resident students. That's one of our most popular ones, and students can automatically be considered for that by applying on November 1st, among others. So contact me for more questions.
Perfect. Thank you, Caitlin. And Tara, can you please share a little bit more on that question?
Yep. So our tuition is right around $44,000 a year. With room and board, you're looking at about $63,000 a year. And again, like everybody else, we have a 2-year residency requirement, but there are lots of options for scholarships, like I mentioned before in my presentation. So 98% of our students are getting scholarship. The average package is going to be about $30,000 a year. So you're looking at about half that. And yeah, we do our best to really award students that have done well in high school, but we also do need-based aid as well. Unfortunately, we're not a school that meets 100% of need. Maybe one day, that is my hope. But for now, we do look at that, and typically there's a little bit of a gap there, but quite a bit of scholarships for you to get.
Yeah. And before I let the rest of the reps answer, I do want to clarify that, you know, there is a difference between cost of attendance and then also your net costs, right? So the reason I ask our presenters, our reps for today, to talk more about the opportunities in terms of financial aid is because the cost of attendance can be misleading because it doesn't include the financial aid that you may be eligible for. So I'll let Rachel answer now and share a little bit more about that.
Thanks. Yes, so for Minnesota, our tuition fees is just over $33,000 for a full year on campus. We don't require students to live on campus, but if you'd like to, typically room and board with meals included is about $10,000. So like Caitlin said, we're going to package a little bit more for travel and things like that. So all said and done, we typically package students at about $49,000 for total cost of attendance if you wanted to live on campus. We automatically consider all students for those academic merit-based scholarships through the Office of Admission. For out-of-state students, they range from $2,500, they go up to $15,000. That's each year for all 4 years. They can be stacked. So anything else you're bringing from your community, anything that you might qualify for through FAFSA would just be stacked on top of what we might offer you as well.
Perfect. Thank you, Rachel. And then Chuck, can you please share your answer?
I'm happy to see this question because a lot of times people don't begin with this question, and ultimately it may come down as one of the top 2 decisions. So great question. I'm going to give the total cost of attendance and talk about financial aid. We're just over $53,000 for total cost of attendance. That is including the fact that we have our students live on campus that first year. You can definitely, after the start of the second year, live off campus, and definitely the cost of food, of course, can definitely go down. About 75% of our students do receive some sort of financial aid. We are the public flagship in our state, so there is a commitment to Delawareans. We do offer some need-based aid, but a lot of the conversations I have with students who meet our January 15th deadline for financial aid consideration just by applying is if you're within our merit-based range, and a lot of times it's slightly above our profile, so maybe you're on a 3.85 weighted GPA, we're starting to see students eligible for about $12,000 to $15,000 of merit-based scholarship renewable every 4 years. So the conversations I tend to have with students who might be considering a staying in state, maybe a UC, and they would have to pay for it fully out of pocket because they don't qualify for the Cal Grant. That, if you look at the 4-year total cost, I believe if you're eligible for merit-based scholarship, it gets to be around the same conversation because no impaction at the University of Delaware, very high 4-year graduation rate. And so students are considering that 4-year vision. So I would definitely encourage you to do that as well.
Thank you, Chuck. And then last but not least, Miguel, do you have anything you want to add?
Absolutely, yes. Tuition fees for non-Washington resident per year is $26,000. Housing and dining is about $10,000. We do have scholarships for our out-of-state students. The Cougar Awards up to $7,000 per year. We are also part of the WUI program, so $11,000 per year renewable for 4 years, so long as the student maintains a 3.4 to 4.0 GPA. So it could be quite affordable for our students.
Perfect. So thank you all for sharing your answers. We didn't have any other questions. I'm gonna cut the Q&A there just so we can move along. But before we get going, I do want to thank you, all of our reps tonight, for joining us and sharing all the wonderful things that your schools have to offer. We are so excited. Students and attendees, thank you so much for joining us. Please join us for the rest of this evening. We have a few more showcases. The next up is art and design programs. We have community colleges. So please join us for that. And then tomorrow is our last day of the college fair with some breakout sessions. So again, I want to remind you that this session was recorded, so that will be available to view at a later time this month. But again, I want to make sure I ended with thanking all of our reps tonight, and have a great evening, everybody.